Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. It's been another smoky day in the Empire State. New York State environmental officials issuing air quality warnings again today as smoke from Canadian wildfires continues to make its way into the southern tier. Air quality in the Elmira area was above 100 today, which is unhealthy for sensitive groups. This is the third time since early June that air quality alerts have been issued in New York State, and experts do not believe it will be the last. We'll have more on the conditions coming up in our complete forecast. And this group of forest rangers from New York State has just returned after spending 2 weeks battling those wildfires in Canada. The rangers were joined in Quebec by wildland firefighters from Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. The firefighting experts from New York helped deal with more than 2,600 wildfires in Canada that have burned an estimated 13 million acres so far this year. In an effort to improve the quality of the air, New York State has begun phasing out some inefficient appliances. The New York State Energy Research and Development Authority has adopted new minimum energy efficiency standards for 21 products and appliances, including air purifiers, gas fireplaces, and electric vehicle supply equipment. You can find a list of the appliances and info on the new standards at the authority's website. Investigators are poring over new evidence after the arrest of a man suspected of being a serial killer on Long Island. Police arrested Rex Heuermann on Thursday in connection with the murders of 3 women from over a decade ago. Nate Foy has details.
For a 4th straight day, investigators are concentrating on the home of suspected serial killer Rex Heuermann in Massapequa Park, New York. This after they pulled a massive haul of weapons from the home.
It's over 200 guns. He had an arsenal in a vault that he had downstairs. So it's concerning regarding the guns being registered or illegal or not. That's something that we're still taking a look at.
Authorities are also searching a nearby storage unit in Amityville linked to Heuermann. On Friday, the 59-year-old pleaded not guilty to the killings of 3 female sex workers between the ages of 22 and 27. Heuermann is also the prime suspect in a 4th murder and possibly could be linked to more killings as the investigation continues.
We're going to continue to work and look in these other cases as well.
The heinous crimes have haunted Long Island's South Shore for over a decade. In total, at least 11 sets of remains were found between 2010 and 2011.
Gilgo Beach is a very remote area, and it's a good place to go to dump things that you don't want other people to necessarily see.
Heuermann, a 59-year-old architect and married father of 2, was allegedly hiding in plain sight and living a double life. DNA collected on pizza crust matched with hair found on a victim led to his arrest. Prosecutors say Heuermann used burner phones to contact victims and research the murders, as well as look for child pornography. Heuermann has pleaded not guilty. He's due next in court on August 1st in Massapequa Park, New York. Nate Foy, Fox News.
Ithaca police are investigating another series of commercial burglaries in the city. Police report the latest break-ins happened along South Cayuga Street near the Commons in downtown Ithaca. Windows on several businesses were smashed and items were taken. Anyone with information about the Ithaca burglaries is asked to call the police tip line at the number on your screen. Tensions are rising in Congress after one prominent House lawmaker labeled Israel a racist state. Madeline Rivera reports from Washington.
A brawl has broken out on Capitol Hill over Israel, just as Israeli President Isaac Herzog visits the nation's capital. A delicate situation as the White House gets ready to reaffirm U.S. support for its longtime ally in the Middle East.
Our commitment to Israel is ironclad, and we're going to make that clear and consistent every chance we get.
House Republicans are advancing a resolution that would in part put Democrats on the record on whether they reject anti-Semitism.
They need to do something about it because they've defended these individuals time and again.
The vote comes after Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal sparked backlash for calling Israel a racist state. Jayapal is backpedaling her remarks, but some progressives who are critical of the Israeli government's policies against Palestinians are siding with her.
I think there's serious concerns from the UN to Amnesty International to Israeli human rights organizations themselves, identifying and concluding that there's currently a crisis of democracy and apartheid.
Divisions among Democrats are flaring. 43 House Democrats issued a statement Monday distancing themselves from Jayapal's remarks.
It's unacceptable. For years and years, we were successful at just agreeing that Israel has the right to exist as a Jewish and democratic state.
President Herzog will address a joint session of Congress on Wednesday, but some progressive members like Congresswomen Jayapal and Ocasio-Cortez will be skipping the event. In Washington, Matthew Rivera, Fox News.
Russia hits Ukraine's port cities after pulling out of the Black Sea grain deal, a move that could put millions at risk for famine. Alex Hogan has more from London.
Drone and missile attacks from Russia intensify in southern Ukraine. Just a day after pulling out from an agreement to ship much-needed Ukrainian grain through the Black Sea, the Russians are hitting Ukrainian cities where that grain is being prepared for transport. The port city of Odessa coming under particularly heavy fire. Moscow says it's in retaliation for a suspected Ukrainian drone attack on a key bridge linking Russia and Crimea.
The Russian armed forces delivered a group strike of retribution with high-precision sea-based weapons at facilities where terrorist attacks were being prepared.
On Monday, USAID Chief Samantha Power announced $500 million in humanitarian aid for Ukraine. Today, she's traveling to Odessa following those airstrikes, while American and European diplomats scramble to find other ways of shipping out the grain to areas in Africa and the Mideast where it's desperately needed.
By weaponizing food, Russia has exacerbated the global food security crisis.
Meanwhile, the situation on the front lines has become a bloody back-and-forth stalemate. Ukrainian forces making slow gains, while the Russians report their troops advancing in the northeast. Ukrainian officials now pleading for F-16 fighter jets and long-range missiles so they can take the fight to the Russians.
The fact that we give aid reluctantly in terms of advanced weapons and slow them down, that has handicapped the Ukrainians, and you can see it in this offensive.
The U.S. also announced another $250 million in aid for Ukrainian farmers to help store and transport their food. In London, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
Still ahead, we have your complete forecast. Plus,
poll after poll shows that voters don't like the presidential frontrunners in the major parties. So what would happen if a third party stepped up? I'm Caroline Shively in Washington. I'll have that story coming up.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Good evening and happy Tuesday. We did start off the day with those hazy skies and even some of those air quality concerns. Now, we are expecting some improvements, but what is bringing those improvements was a frontal system that sparked up a few stronger thunderstorms that slid on through the area, even gave a few efficient rain producers as well. But now as we step through the overnight, we are seeing some gradual clearing, and with the clearing, cooling, and calm winds, that will allow for some areas of some patchy fog. So if you are an early commuter, make sure to always keep those headlights on and take it easy on the gas. Now, as we work our way into our Wednesday, those skies are going to look a little brighter. Might still have some haze lingering across the area, but there seems to be a much clearer air mass that is moving in behind this cold front that will allow for some of those blue skies to stick around as we roll all the way into our Thursday. So we have a good 2 days ahead for us to enjoy some of the sunshine. We'll see some slight warming, not too sticky though, very seasonal sunshine to be able to enjoy. But that rain and thunder is going to move in late on Thursday and then hold throughout our Friday forecast. What we are noting though is that with the timing of the arrival, the severe threat does remain on the lower side, but it is going to keep some gloomy and seasonably cool conditions around into the early weekend before we will be talking about pleasant weekend weather to take us into early next week. So first off, with our gorgeous Wednesday around, those mostly sunny skies, the light winds will bring a high just around 85 degrees. So hugging that season seasonal high temperature there, and that's going to be area wide all the way up through the Finger Lakes down into Pennsylvania. We're seeing temperatures from those upper 70s to those mid 80s. So beautiful day around, and we'll see that again, copy and paste into our Thursday forecast. Now, the evening hours will include that thunder risk, so that's why you're seeing that thunderstorm icon return. Earliest arrival will be across portions of Pennsylvania, and then we'll see that spread come through those Finger Lakes into those overnight hours. So again, with arrival as of now expected to be towards sunset, that does bring us a lower risk for severe weather. But still, if we are able to see maybe a little bit earlier arrival with the heating that we have in place, it could spark up a few storms. At least some thunder risk will have to be mentioned. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll get a good round of some showers expected with that as we see at least through Thursday, 1/4 of an inch. And this is just that evening risk on Thursday. We're going to have a whole day of rain on Friday that we will add to that. And as we look at the dew points into Friday, we do hold into those mid to upper 60s. So with dew points into those 60s, that does, when we talk about it, include some stickiness, but temperatures are going to be a little cooler due to the gloominess. What that moisture is going to signal is that we could have some more of these efficient rain producers to bring us some moisture to those soils. A few storms to mention on Saturday, but trending drier with mostly sunny skies, and then that sunny sky should bring us some slight warming through Monday.